Hi guys, Stanley Orr here, and for today's video I thought it would be fun to kind of take a sidetrack from the devlog and just, I wanted to dedicate today to generating a random game idea and then talking about how that might work while I draw some concept art for this imaginary game. We have a game genre generator from letsmakeagame.net. We have a random noun generator from randomwordgenerator.com. And we have genre blender from springhole.net. So we got side-scroller stealth game. Photo, okay, photo. We got photo in there. We have action/sci-fi. Okay, so here is our game. It has to be a side-scrolling stealth game involving photos. And on a story level, it's an action sci-fi game. So, all right then, I guess it's time to see what we can do with that. Let me just drag this over here. Oops, there. Alright, so when I think of a side-scrolling stealth game, I think of like a 2D version of Splinter Cell or Metal Gear Solid, where you're supposed to stealth around a secret enemy base or something. That was the idea that was brewing around in my head at first. So I pictured like a side-scrolling thing. You have a guy that crouches, hides behind boxes and stuff, and everything's in shadows, but you can see the enemy's line of sight through like ray tracing, casting out bright areas showing where the bad guys can see. That was the idea that I had in my head. And then when it came to photographs, I'm like, why would we need photographs? How could I tie this in? And then it occurred to me, oh, what if your character has no offensive capabilities? What if your character is like an independent journalist, like a guy who just runs a YouTube channel or an independent blog or something, who's doing undercover investigative work trying to expose this government entity or corporation or something that's doing something really shady, you know? And then as far as the sci-fi element, I was thinking about that for a while, and I thought, you know, the sci-fi element could be the thing that this character's trying to expose this corporate entity for, right? As I was brainstorming different ideas from like, you know, the usual robots or nanomachines, etc., I thought, those are all pretty generic actually. You know, I want something more unique. Then it occurred to me, you know what would be really cool? If the corporation was actually developing an experimental drug or gas or something that altered your memories so that they can implant false memories and basically gaslight you in real time. That would be scary, number one, but number two, it also explained the need for photographs. So that was a mechanic I thought would be cool, is if you go around taking photos of interesting things and trying to get as much data as you can so that you can eventually expose this evil corporation shenanigans, and you saw more and more horrific things about this experimental drug or chemical that they're working on that wipes people's memories. Maybe even they're going around, you know, taking prisoners off death row and using them as human experimentation. Really jacked up stuff. Maybe they even have buyers in high-ranking levels of governments across the world, from America to England, third world countries, you name it. Like, this is just bad stuff, and it would be up to you as the main character to go in there, expose them, and get out alive, or at least get out without your memories being wiped, your camera destroyed, and everything confiscated. So that was my thought. Then I thought, it'd be interesting and actually add another layer of fear to the game, is if you have this corporation knows about you and has been smearing you in the press as some sort of conspiracy theorist or extremist, underground extremist who can't be trusted and is wanted by the authorities for spreading propaganda and lies. All sorts of excuses that are just there to silence you and get you to shut up so that you don't expose their dirty dealings. It's really a you against the world sort of scenario, and I think there's hardly a scarier thought than feeling like you've got the truth, but you're up against something so massive and powerful that no matter how loud you ring the alarm bell, no one's going to listen to you. They'll just keep writing you off as a conspiracy nut. That always struck me as a horrifying thought. I imagine you sneaking around trying to create distractions and even going through the same level twice, wondering if your mind has been altered or not, wondering how much you can trust your very own memories. That might be pretty interesting. It might also be interesting for each level to be randomized every time you go to it, so that if you quote-unquote lose a level and go back, there's some things that are slightly different, and it makes you wonder if you've already been here and your mind has been changed and your false memories have been implanted. That's just another way to add to the user interface and make the mechanic of the photographs all the more important. And as far as the UI, the user interface goes, I thought it'd be cool if you had a exposure meter at the top to let you know how close you are to being detected, as well as your cell phone, which functions as the pause menu, and a camera, or photographs, so you can see what photos you've taken already, and that can help you combat the mind-altering nature if they get a hold of you and change your memories or something. And I haven't thought of a name for the game yet, but if we could, I think I would go with Exposure, because that just really sets a stark contrast to how it feels. You're trying to expose this company for its deeds, but at the same time, you're trying not to be exposed to them because you'd feel helpless and scared at the drop of a hat. As far as an art style goes, I wanted to make it really very sharp and contrasty. I wanted to go for sort of a noir sort of feel, like a mysterious look. And for some reason, I kept thinking back to The Incredibles, the opening animation on The Incredibles with the 2D graphics, how that looked super stylized. And then also, there was an old cartoon, I believe on Nickelodeon or Disney, called The X's, and it was like a spy family. The only reason I bring that up is because I remember the art style in that really caught my eye and really seemed like something I would want to go for. So that was the sort of feel I wanted to go. Very blocky, basic shape, sort of, very, very straightforward and sharp and contrasty, with gradients to add a level of mysteriousness to it. No voice acting either. I imagine everything would come up in dialogue and text bubbles and all that. It would be kind of cool that way. Very minimalist sort of feel. Anyways, so that was the idea I had for this game, and I think it's a really neat concept. I think that would be really fun. As far as platforms go, I could see it being a mobile game, but more so I could also see it being a side-scrolling, game on the Nintendo Switch or the PC, something super casual feeling, something that it wouldn't last long. It'd probably be like a 2 or 3 hour game, max, maybe 4 hours, but not a very long game, Just something that would kill some time, sell it for like $5 or $6 on Steam. That's how I picture this game would be. And anyways, here's the end result of that concept art. I hope you guys like this sort of idea, and let me know if this series is interesting. Once again, the reason why I brought it up is because I can't always come up with content with Lisa every single week for the devlog. Sometimes there's just progress that isn't happening yet because we've hit a few roadblocks. So I figured this sort of video might be entertaining to keep you guys occupied in the meantime. Let me know. It might be pretty cool. Anyways, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys later. Please be sure to subscribe if you like this type of content. We publish videos every single Saturday.